Welcome to Positive Talk Daily. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Mr. Positive Live. Today on Mr. Positive Live, we are looking at the K32 5G from Metro by T-Mobile. This is a decent deal for this phone. Now, it's not going to win any awards for being the most flashiest smartphone on the planet, but you are getting a decent overall package for $40. Now, an initial cost was $120, but if you open up a new line of service to Metro by T-Mobile, you can get this phone for free. You only pay the $40, the $50, or the $60 in store. Pretty much it. Now, I would say activate this at Walmart. This is where I got mine. A lot of the Walmart stores will have, a phone person there where they can help you help you activate it in store, and you'll actually get the phone for free. It's a decent deal. Looking around the phone again, your 5-megapixel front-facing camera right there. Again, your 13 megapixel rear camera and a 2 megapixel micro camera. Okay, so you will get your flash. You will have kind of a sensor for taking photos in low light. You do at the top get a noise canceling microphone, and at the bottom same thing. Type-C charging up to 25 watts. Headphone jack, which is good to see, and a noise canceling microphone, and your stereo. This does have stereo speakers, which is nice to see from TCL. Also, you'll be getting a 5,000 10 milliamp hour battery, which is great. And you are getting the Snapdragon 4 Gen 2 processor. So, again, you're getting a Snapdragon chipset, so that's good. I'd rather have a Snapdragon chipset than a MediaTek chipset. Okay, let's take a look at the packaging. Again, the phone is pretty bare bones overall. You're getting a 5G smartphone, 6.75-inch HD plus display, stereo speakers. You do get a 5,000 10 milliamp hour battery and a 13 megapixel rear camera and that 5 megapixel front-facing camera. One thing I will say about the smartphone is that the 5 megapixel selfie camera is very soft around the edges, so it doesn't take very good photos. And the 13 megapixel camera is doable. It can be useful for maybe Instagram photos or just video chatting or Skype calls and stuff like that. I wouldn't use it for anything else, not even for Facebook. One of the things I will say about this phone, there is no NFC. It doesn't have a very bright screen. It gets to maybe around 300 nits of brightness. So for a phone in 2025 to have 300 nits of brightness, kind of a bummer right there. Overall, I mean, it does have a 90 hertz refresh rate. We will give it that. So you are getting a 90 hertz refresh rate. You are getting virtual RAM. You get 4 gigs on board and then another 4 gigs for virtual RAM. So you can get 8 gigs, but it's part of that's virtual RAM. And only comes with 64 gigs of internal storage, which is kind of a bummer as well. You can expand that with micro SD cards, so that's good news there. For anyone looking to purchase this phone, there are better options on the market. You do have your Samsung Galaxy A16s, your A15s from last year. You have the Moto G 2025 5G, which I still think is a better phone than this. Yes, you are getting a Snapdragon Gen 4 processor on here, so it's not terrible. But thanks to virtual RAM, you will get an extra boost. But the fact that it doesn't have, say, NFC, and you can't use this for card payments and digital card payments and stuff like that. A lot of people today are using NFC and stuff like that. That's kind of a bummer. TCL, for now, if you buy this phone in store, $49, so it's not terrible. Again, there are better phones on the market. You can get a blue phone that has NFC on it and everything else for $29. This is lacking NFC. It does give you 25 watt fast charging, no charger in the box. You are getting a headphone jack at the bottom. The speakers are pretty good on board. The cameras are a bit soft around the edges, and there is no night mode or anything like that. For Mr. Positive Live, I'm Mr. Positive. The phone does get a pass. I will give it a 6 out of 10. Again, you are getting a decent chipset. That does help. You are getting virtual RAM. That is a awesome thing to see. The materials it's made of isn't terrible either. It does kind of have a really nice look and design for it, so it's not bad. There is no splash coating, no IP certification on this, so you're getting a bare bones phone from TCL. I think it's a good deal if you're getting it for free, and that's probably the best way to get the phone. That's my review for the TCL K32 5G. Thanks for watching, Mr. Positive.